Hello everybody, Ben Rutz here with the Digital Den and another Digital Den mini class. Throughout the month of September, we are talking all things Cricut Maker. Our last video was all about Creativebug, a program that you can use here with your library card and your PIN number to be able to access all sorts of different crafts, and many of those you can use the Cricut Maker on. So if you missed that video, I highly recommend that you check it out. But if you're interested in getting started with those crafts, well, today we are talking all about the Cricut Design Space. What that is, it is a free to download program that you can use on your computer and sign in anywhere. The cool thing about that is you can design your own project from home and then come over here to the Digital Den, sign into your account, and then get started cutting whatever it is that you want. Whether you're cutting on vinyl, maybe some iron-on, or even just regular old construction paper, you can do whatever it is that you would like to cut whatever kind of craft that you're going with. Okay, so if you've never used the Cricut Design Space before, let me show you how to use it. The first thing that we'll need to do is download it. So you are going to go ahead and open up whatever internet browser that you would like. And over on Google, you're just going to type in Cricut Design Space. And boom, there we go. We've got design.cricut.com. You can always type that link in directly if you would like to be able to get directly to the place that you download the Cricut Design Space from. You'll click on agree to the terms of use and privacy policy, and then you'll click download. I already have it downloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to opening the program. All right, now that we have downloaded and installed the Cricut Design Space, what we're going to need to do is create our account. So as you can see, I'm already signed in here. So I'll just click on sign out here in the top left. And then I'll just click on sign in. If you've never used the Cricut Design Space before, you can create your own Cricut ID here, just a standard email and password option there. And like I said earlier, you can sign in from anywhere. So that's why having your own account is a really cool thing. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in real quick and then jump ahead in the video. Alrighty, now that I am signed in, let's go ahead and get started on making some projects. One of the cool things you can do is, as you can see down here under My Projects, these are projects that I've started in the past, and I can always go back to them and keep working on them later. So even if you only have a little bit of time to work on a project, you can always go back and keep working on them until you've got everything finished and ready to cut. But today we're going to be clicking on New Project. Before we do that, we got to make sure that our Cricut Design Space knows what kind of Cricut we have. So over here in the top left, next to the New Project button, we are going to click on Cricut Maker, or if you have a Cricut Explorer or a different option there, you're going to click on that. Okay, it knows we've got a Cricut Maker. Now we're going to go ahead and click on New Project. All right, so we are going to be focusing the rest of this video on all of the tools that we have here on the left-hand side. I'm going to be doing things a little bit out of order, which might seem a little bit confusing at first, but I promise you it will make sense. We're going to go ahead and start things off with the third tool on the bar here. We're going to be talking about projects. You're going to click on that and you're going to see thousands of other projects that other people have created, so that if you want to get crafty but you don't want to work too hard, you can always use the projects that other people have made here. Okay, but one of the things that you'll know that you need to know about Cricut Maker when it comes to using the projects, the images, or the text, a lot of the options here are things that you will either need to purchase or is only available under the Cricut Access subscription service. You can either sign up for the Cricut Access, which of course does cost, pay for the individual things, or you'll need to be able to make sure that you select only the free options, which I'll show you how to do here. Up on categories here on the top bar, you'll just click on that and click on free, and that'll show you all of the free options that you have available. I'm going to click on the one that I am interested in learning more about, which is the Stay Positive pencil bag. You'll see a number of different things here on this project. It is an easy project in terms of difficulty. It takes less than 30 minutes. And it'll tell me the standard size that I am looking for here. So as long as my pencil bag is larger than 4.6 by 4 inches, I can make sure that I put this on there. One of the cool things too is that I can always click customize and readjust the size of the image on here to be able to cut it to be whatever size that fits my pencil bag. Okay. It'll even show you the materials that you need and everything else that you'll need to be able to make this project happen. It even has a step-by-step guideline for all of the different steps that you will take to be able to get through this project. Lastly, here in the bottom, you will see the Make It and Customize button. I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It, and it takes you right to the Prepare function, which is basically, I'm ready to go ahead and get cutting on this, the final thing that you will do on the Cricut Design Space. I'm going to click Cancel so I can go back over to the Customize function here. I'll click that, and you'll see that it opens up right here in my work plane here on this grid function that is really great for showing just how large individual things are so that we can have a really good idea of how big our project is going to be. And I can always make adjustments now that I've clicked Customize on this project. So if my pencil bag is a little bit smaller than 4.6 by 4, I can always adjust the size of it here to be able to fit with whatever size that I need for it to be. I can also change the orientation of it to be able to make it so that I can print in a different direction. And lastly, I can click on this lock button that is right here, which standard would be here in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to click on that, and that will allow for me to be able to adjust the size of it not being uniform. So when it's locked like this, I can only adjust it so that it still stays, the same length and width in uniform. I can click this lock and I can adjust it in any other way. Does that make sense? And then of course the X button will just delete the project entirely. So that is projects, and you never do anything custom on here. You can always just use the projects function and be happy forever because there are so many different projects that are already available on the Cricut Design Space. But if we want to get super customized and we want to make our own stuff, I'm going to show you how to do that now. First, we're going to click on the New button right here in the top left. And what that will do is that will delete anything that we already have on our work plane here and replace it with just a blank background. So I'm going to click on the Replace button here to be able to just get rid of everything. Or if I wanted to save this and return to it later, like that Future Projects function I showed you earlier, I can click on Save and then come back and keep editing this another time. I'm going to click on Replace. And we are next going to be looking at templates. So over here, you'll see a whole bunch of different things on here. And one thing that is important to note is that these are not shapes you'll actually be cutting. This is just a visual representation for what you'll be cutting and putting your material on. Okay, so for example, if I'm making a t-shirt, I can either scroll down to the type of t-shirt that I want, which is classic t-shirt, or I can type in the word shirt in the search function here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and do that and click on classic t-shirt. That is going to change the size of my work plane here to be able to fit the size of the t-shirt. And you'll see that it looks like a standard size small, a men's short sleeve shirt. I can change it to a women's size there, or style there. I can also adjust the size to be able to be anything between small and extra large. And I can even click on custom to be able to customize the dimensions of the shirt to be able to fit whatever size. Maybe I made the shirt myself, or I've got some sort of like weird funky size that you think might not be the standard. I can always adjust things there. And just like with the projects, when I was adjusting things there, I can always click on the lock button to be able to adjust it so that maybe I want the width of my shirt to be wider than the height normally would be for a shirt of this size. Does that make sense? Last thing I can do is change the color of the shirt to be able to get a better representation of what it would look like. So I can always click on whatever color I would like for the shirt to be. So I'll click on white or yellow, I guess, and this will be what it will look like with a yellow background on the shirt. Okay, so that is the templates tool there. Next up, let's talk about images. Alrighty, so just like with the projects, you'll see that it's got the Cricut Access thing here saying, hey, if you sign up for this, you can use pretty much anything. And they even have some costs from some various images that are on here. But if we only want free, we got to make sure that we click on ownership and then click free to be able to see only the free options that are available on here. Now you'll see that there's quite a few less than than before. There was like 200,000 images on here. And if I click on free, it's only 8,000. But 8,000 is still a large number in there. And as long as your thing that you're searching for isn't something that's super funky, there probably is an option for it on here. So say you are super into soccer and you want to make a soccer t-shirt. Let's go ahead and type in the word soccer and see the options that are available here. So one thing that is important to note with the Cricut Maker is that, once again, it is a cutting platform, so or tool. So it is only going to cut the material that you place on it. So if I place, say, some vinyl on there or some iron-on, and it is a blue iron-on, it will only cut in the color blue. The Cricut Maker has the print function, but the Cricut Maker itself does not print. We'll need to print from the Cricut Design Space and then cut it afterward with the Cricut Maker, which I will show you how to do in a future video. But for now, we're just going to click on this soccer ball and click on Insert Image. So we've still got the shirt on here. I've still got it that size that I want it, and I can adjust the size of the soccer ball to be able to fit exactly the way that I want on my shirt. Now, another thing to note is that, of course, you can only cut in one color at a time, and so it'll cut in black or whatever material that I have got on there. And if it is that blue, like I mentioned earlier, I can always change it to that color. And there we go. So it'll cut in blue, and then the other color would be whatever the shirt is, or if I decided to cut with the other shape inside that shape in another color, and then I would have to stitch it all together. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, let me know in the comments. All right, so I can always adjust the size here, just like I did with the projects, change the orientation, and then, of course, adjust the size of things by unlocking it to be able to make it fit exactly what size that I would like for it to be. Okay, so that is images. Let's go ahead and go over to text. First, I'm going to go ahead and type in the word that I would like. So I'm going to type in the word soccer and hit enter. Okay. Now what I'm going to see is I'm going to see the word soccer right here appear for us. And just like images and projects, I can adjust the size of the word soccer. But if maybe I don't like Cricut Sans as the font option there, what I can always do is I can click on the font drop-down menu and I can see all of the fonts that are available. There are a lot of fonts that are on here, but one thing to note is that, just like in images and projects, a lot of them you got to pay for. If you're looking for exclusively the free options, what you'll do is you'll come up here in the top right to filters and click on My Fonts. These will bring you to all of the ones that you have previously downloaded. So if you've already bought a font in the past, it'll show you that one, plus all of the ones that come pre-installed with the Cricut Design Space. So you'll scroll through here to be able to find whichever font that you want. And just a note of a piece of trivia here for you. This says the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The reason why it says that is because every single letter in the English alphabet appears on in that sentence. Okay, so that's why that is, again, piece of trivia. So say I like this font the most. I'm going to click on that. And that will change the fonts to be able to match whatever font I clicked on. And boom, I have got myself a good looking soccer shirt right there. Okay, so that is text. And lastly, or well, I got two more here. I'm going to click on shapes. I can always click on whatever shape that I want. These are pretty standard shapes. So if I just want a regular old circle, I can always make a circle whatever size that I would like. And then maybe I just want to put it on the back of my shirt or something like that. Okay. So that is shapes, and you would adjust the size, orientation of it just like you would with any other image or project that you put here on the Cricut Design Space. The last thing that we have on here is the upload option. What you'll do is you'll click on upload image, and you will browse to wherever you have that image on your computer to be able, and it even tells you what different types of images are accepted here with the Cricut Design Space. Since I've got some already loaded up on here, I'm going to go ahead and select one of the images. I'm going to click on that and insert it into my Cricut Design Space project here, and I'm going to place that wherever I want it on my template. Now, one thing to note, once you click on Make It in the top right-hand corner, it's the shirt background is going to go away entirely, and it's going to reorganize things. So do not spend too much time organizing where you want to be able to print everything on this work plane. This is just a visual example of what it will look like whenever you're completed. And then whenever you click Make It, that's when you should spend some time to reorganize things the way that you want. Okay, and we will talk more about the prepare function here on the Cricut Design Space in another video. So that's pretty much it for this first one here. If you have any other immediate questions on how to use the Cricut Design Space, I highly recommend that you stop on by the Digital Den here at the Kokomo-Howard County Public Library main branch, and we will take a look at how we can make the Cricut Maker work for you. And upcoming videos that we've got here. So next Monday, we have got a video all about choosing the right material to be able to make sure that you print exactly the way that you want. And we will go over the prepare function in that video there. And then the last video, we'll be talking more about how to print and then cut, and just general odds and ends when it comes to cutting using the Cricut Maker. Thank you so much for watching with us here with the Digital Den mini classes, and we will see you in the next video.